daddies, metal daddies, metal daddies, metal daddies. Metal daddies.
Welcome back to Death Metal Daddies. My name is Jeff,
Hi. Hi, I'm Solus. How's it
and
going?
today we are doing the album discography ranking of the mathcore giants. How could it all be? We are doing the Dillinger Escape Plan, the Mathcore Legends
So glad you
album
got that.
rankings. This is exciting. Very exciting.
It is.
This was
It's a
probably
pretty
the
good one.
easiest discography delve. Because I also think it's the short one, but also is like, man, I love Dillinger. This is
It was a
awesome.
fun one, man. Yeah, it was cool. It was I would say that out of the 2 weeks I've been on a Dillinger train, the first week was probably the more fun I had. The second week was the more math that I noticed.
Okay.
That I was like, oh, yeah, I'm just not a big math guy. But again, Dillinger is the band that can get away with it for me. Um, but yeah, man, phenomenal band. How long have these guys even been around now? It's crazy.
I think they're so the debut that
97.
yeah,
Wow.
it's like mid late 90s. Where's the
Damn.
presentation mode? Yeah, but also they weren't originally mathcore, so there's actually another technically debut album. It's a self-titled, but from what I understand, it's not. It's a completely different style. And after they came out with the album, they decided to change their style to this mathcore style that they are known for. So their debut is actually not talked about too much, and Calculating Infinity is actually considered their debut amongst all their fans because I don't even think you can get. It's not on streaming, so you can't really. No one really wants to
It's on
hear the
Spotify.
original. No, there's a self-titled.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It's
Sorry,
like
I thought
this
you were
like
talking about calculating infinity.
no, it's like this purple like voodoo looking doll thing,
Oh
and
shit.
it's but I don't even think I've listened to it, but from what I understand, it's completely different. But yeah, uh, we might as well start at the beginning. 1999, debut album. Uh, from what I understand, because I wasn't paying attention to this band at this time, this was huge in the underground hardcore community. Mathcore was kind of around, but it wasn't really a big deal. You had bands like Dead Guy, you got Early Converge, bands like that. But Dillinger kind of took that mathcore and made it even more intense and extreme. And that is this debut album, Calculating Infinity. And I'm a huge Dillinger fan. This one is the more older I've gotten, the more I listen to it, the more I do grow fond of it, but it's still a little almost too abrasive. But it is still pretty good.
Very.
This has their original vocalist, Dmitry Malakis, I think is his last name. But there's still some good songs on here. One of them was still played every day, and every day, like or every time they played a show, I'm pretty sure they ended with 43% burnt, at least the breakdown part,
Okay.
which is awesome. In fact, when they did the Revolver Golden Gods, where they only got to play like three or four songs, they still ended the set list with the breakdown and the fire
Wow.
breathing and the whole destroying the stage. Uh, that's their like big classic song. Other good songs was like the opener, Sugar Coated Sour. Jim Fear's also pretty good. Then you also got the instrumental, which is like an asterisk, a number sign, and dot dot, which I feel like showcases Ben Wyman, the guitarist and founding member. He's like very good at like electronic music. He's also into that, but it's not like what you would expect for electronic music because it has a very eerie and dark feeling no matter what. It's not like a club banger. It's more of like atmospheric, weird stuff. But
Yeah.
it's a good album. Super abrasive, and there is some seeds in here that you will see eventually grow into better flowers throughout their discography. Um, but yeah, I'm probably gonna give this one though. I'm gonna give this a 7.2. What's your thoughts on their debut, Calculating Infinity?
Um, I'm not real crazy about it, put it bluntly. I can do 43% burnt, but other than that, man, I'm really not hanging on this album a whole lot. It's very mathy, and it's clear as day. I'm just not crazy about it, man. I'll give it a 6.2.
All right, so we got a 13.2. And I will say, for the longest time, I didn't realize the picture because for the longest time I thought the picture was gears, but apparently
It's like
that's
a wheel,
some.
right?
No, it's bottom of guitar tube amps or amp
Oh shit.
tubes
Oh,
because of the top
okay.
of it is like bulbs,
Oh, nice.
which plays into other things later.
Ooh.
We will get to that though. So a lot happens after this debut drops, 1999. They release about two EPs. They release Under the Running Board, which is just like a three-song EP, which just has like Sandbox Magician, Abe the Cop, and I think is that it? There's one more. I can't remember the other song. Just a three-song EP. But then after that, Dimitri leaves the band. So they're in a weird holding pattern where they don't have a singer, but they tap their idol, the man of a million voices, Mike Patton, who, if you don't know Mike Patton, um, he is a he is in like 100 bands, very talented, all over the place musician. He's from Faith No More, Dead Cross. What is the other big band he was in?
Oh shit. Mr. Bungle.
Yeah, that's it. Mr. Bungle. And those are his three big bands. He has a shit ton of other smaller bands. Not only that, he's also in I Am Legend, the movie. He does the voices for the mutants. He does voices for a lot of like monsters and stuff in video games. He's a man of a bunch of voices. And with
That's
him as a
awesome.
vocalist for an EP, they release Irony's a Dead Scene. I'm not super into it. It's a little too experimental for me. Um, and that's the thing about Dillinger Escape Plan. You'll notice throughout all this albums is there's two consistent things with Dillinger when it comes to release. It's gonna be mathy and it's gonna be experimental. Those two things are
Yeah,
gonna happen every single album.
I would almost tag the word unexpected. Like
Hmm.
that's one thing that came with this band's discography is especially in the mid to later albums is the unexpectedness because it would
Hmm.
just be a total sidewinder. Yeah, and it's just like as far as like the weird electronical shit to like this super hyper mellow elevator kind of fucking bar swing little thing, it's so
Hmm.
weird. Like they're just a weird ass band, but clearly um made a name for themselves.
And that's almost why I think the Calculated Infinity also kind of gives a little bit of a higher rating for me. And I think it has to do with, I feel like their purpose is to make sure the listeners don't ever get comfortable with their music. And I feel like Calculated Infinity especially does a good job right off the bat. But as the albums progress, they find other ways to make sure that the listener is not comfortable, like they don't know what is going to come next. But after Irony is Dead Scene, they are contacted by Greg Puciato, who is at the time not in a band, but is a huge fan of Dillinger Escape Plan, and he sends them a tape of him covering I think it was 43% burnt. Is either that one or
Oh,
Sugar Coated Saturday. He recorded a cover of him doing that, just like Dimitri did, then a second version of his take on it, and that sold the band on him. They hired him, and in
Wow.
2004, they released Miss Machine. This is the album that got me into him. I got into this band very, very early. I think I found this band before I found Every Time I Die. So this band is kind of is big for me. But yeah, um, this album. So I heard this band was like something called Mathcore. I thought, what is Mathcore? And I put on Panasonic Youth from this album, and I feel like that is, for me, the perfect encapsulation of what Mathcore is. It's
Yeah.
sounds like computers beeping at some times with how technical it is. It's very polyrhythmic. That dun 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 dun. It's it starts off right off the bat, album opener, Panasonic Youth, just in your face, kind of almost where Calculated Infinity left off, but a little bit of experimentation. And then Sunshine the Werewolf, one of my favorite early songs, kicks in awesomely, but then builds up to this grand, like overarching thing, like in a breakdown. Um, but I will say this used to be my favorite album, but listening to this again, I do feel like there's some weak spots, but there is still some cool stuff in this album. It has clean singing, which was not featured in the previous album, and it's kind of somewhat present in this album a lot. We Are the Storm has a little bit of it. Setting Fire to Sleeping Giants almost has like a rock feel. The Stranger's Candy takes you where you wanna be. And then also the song Unretrified, which is has a little bit of electronics, but it has like almost like a dancey beat to it. The Is the man half machine or is the machine half
Machine
man?
half man.
I'm unretrified for you.
For you. So come on. So come on.
I'm just fake it
Listen.
in.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's even if because from what I remember, there's a lot of people unhappy with the drastic change, especially with songs like Setting Fire, Sleeping Giants, and Unretrified. But it is so good and so catchy, and it also kind of paves the road to make it to where these more experimentations into that style is more acceptable a little bit, especially on like the very next album with their big catchy song. I do love this album, but I do think it is weaker than I originally thought it was. I'm probably gonna give this an 8.8. What's your thoughts
Okay.
on this album?
Um, I went into this with high hopes. This was the one I had not really fully digested going into this Discog ranking. And I don't know. I was kind of let down. It's uber mathy, a little bit too much on the end for me. I was surprised to even find Unretrified on here. I absolutely love that song, but it is such a weird change up from the rest of this album. I think that that is one thing that's so crazy about this band. It goes back to me saying that, unexpected. Like that is the absolute unexpectedness of this album is unretrified. It's like a singy, almost chanty kind of hit that's just has like a sense of pop to it even. It's very weird, but very great song, dude. I absolutely love that song. Very singable. But yeah. So with that being said, Unretrified would literally save this album for me. Other than that, I even setting fire to Sleeping Giants, I didn't really see what the big craze was. I know that seems to be like a popular song of theirs, but I just not really crazy about it. I don't know. With that being said, I would give this probably a 7.2.
Okay. So 16. Also, I haven't determined which one I'm going to give a. There's two albums I'm stuck on between which is my favorite, so I don't know which one I'm going to give a 10 yet. I might have to go back after everything.
Okay.
But yeah, Miss Machine with a 16. About 3 years later, I want to say, because I want to say, did this album come out in 2007? Yeah, 2007.
Ironworks, yeah.
Yeah. Up next is Ironworks, their third full length coming out in 2007. And I want to say this is either the last album or to feature Chris Penny, or this is the first one without him. He left around this time to join Coheed. Um,
Oh,
yeah. Oh, also I forgot Greg Puciato joined the band, and so did the bassist Liam Wilson, uh,
Neeson.
who the actor.
Taken.
They both joined the band at the same time, and at this time, also their guitarist had also left. Brian Benoit, I want to say his name was. He had some nerve damage in his playing hand, and I want to say he left the band. So I feel like they had no. I think Ben Wyman did guitars for this entire album by himself. See this one or next one. I probably should have had Wikipedia pulled up, but somewhere around this one. Anyways, this album, um, I was a little skeptical when it came out, um, because I remember the big single that came out of this one was Black Bubblegum, and I kept hearing about it. So like, well, let me check it out. It's Dillinger. They're awesome. What's the problem? And I played the music video, and I don't even think I listened to the whole song. I thought, what the fuck is this? And I was so angry and upset.
Oh man.
But a couple months later, the album comes out, and it's like, you know what? I'll buy it, see if it's any good. And this album took a long time for me to fully appreciate, but I do love this album. Uh,
Oh
it
man.
kick it kicks off with just a ripper, like kind of like Panasonic Youth and Streetcar Sweet, just straight in your face, mathy, and it also features the original vocalist Dimitri with Greg on this one, so it's kind of a
Oh
cool
wow.
throwback.
That is
Lurch is
cool.
an Lurch is an okay song, but Black Bubblegum is finally it's gotten me.
Dude.
It
Oh, I
I do love
love it.
this song, and even listening to it a lot recently because of this Discog ranking. There's so many little things too I love about it. Like there's some like background sound effects that add a little bit too. Then also it sounds like they even when the drums kick back in, it's almost like they specially recorded that drum fill to make it louder and pop even more. That boom, dun, 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 right before it. Check out your
Yeah. Yeah.
face on the wall. It's like,
That's
ugh.
what you see. Yeah, dude. It hits. Like that's what's crazy is it's got such a mellow kind of weird vibe to it, but it's like semi groovy. Um I mean, not semi. It is a pretty groovy song, but it's kind of it's just when you just don't expect this song to be from a metal band. And when they
Hmm.
drop it and it's the as big of a hit as it was, it's just so it's like such a sidewinder, man. Like this, yeah, that's what I mean. Black Bubblegum is the unexpected on this album for sure, but it's a stellar hit, dude. I still 100% love Black Bubblegum. It's
Hmm.
probably honestly my favorite, top favorite Dillinger song ever, to be quite
I gotcha.
honest.
Yeah,
I love it, dude.
it's a sick song, and it was ballsy to do it. Also, I will say, not only was this song ballsy, I feel like the next couple songs on this album are super ballsy in how they do this because I find it weird that the next, what is it, 5 songs is pretty much all kind of blended together a little bit because it kind of goes back and forth in like an actual song. Like so, up next is "Sick on Sunday," which is feels like it's going to be an electronic song. There's a little bit of like lounge room kind of singing, dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun, dun, dun. And then it goes into "When Acting as a Particle," which is kind of like the instrumental digital stuff. Nong I Gong," which is a very quick song, and then back to "When Acting as a Wave," another like just like "When Acting as a Particle," same thing. Then you'd expect 82588 with just like a boring title like that, like just going to be like, okay, it's going to be another thing. No, that's an actual another, just like Nong I Gong, just straight in your face, like hit you really fast
yeah.
mathcore song. So I thought that weird section of the album being dead center of the album was a kind of a weird ballsy move. And then it gets into what I
Milk
feel.
Lizard.
So that's the weird thing about this album. I feel like the first 3 songs are fucking perfect. There's this weird middle part, but then after that weird part, the rest of the album is fucking perfect as well. Because it starts off with Milk Lizard, another huge song off this album, which This song in itself
No
is
doubt.
also super fucking weird if you really
It,
think
it,
about
re-
it.
it
Like
really
how
is. It's got like a that southern guitar kind of
and then the
it
weird
sounds
horns. Just
yeah, like the horns coming in the back. It's like, what the fuck were you guys thinking? But
and it's
odd genius. It's so crazy.
and it's weird how it goes from that to how the song ends to where there's this beautiful uh like the never had the answer to see right through you.
Yeah,
Never
right.
even noticed that. It's like, oh, it's such a
So
weird
catchy.
structure of the song. It's like, how did you come up with this? But and I remember the song being super popular. I wasn't into this for a long time because of how popular it was, and I wasn't into it at the time. Like they played it live the one time I saw it, I was like, ah. But it was still cool live. It was awesome. But it was also
Yeah.
on, I think, Saints. It was either Saints Row or Grand Theft Auto. I can't remember which one. It was like, and it was this was a pretty popular song. So hats off for another ballsy choice on an album. Um, with same
No
album that has
doubt.
Black Bubblegum on it. Um,
Yeah.
then you got Party Smasher, which I love this song too. This is an awesome kick-ass song, and to the point where they even created their own record label called Party Smashers Inc. Uh,
Oh, no shit. That's awesome.
because of this song. Awesome song. Bow down, bow down, down, bow down, bow down. Awesome, like I think it's like a chorus riff, I want to say. Awesome. Then Dead as History, awesome. But Horse Hunter, I feel like I gotta talk about because this is featuring Brent Hines from Mastodon, and I feel like
Oh,
this is a vocal pairing that we all needed because they sound so great together, and even the song instrumentally has a little bit of a Mastodon flavor. Love it. And then it ends with Mouth of Ghosts, which again, this album has already taken so many risks with you have the songs like Milk Lizard, Black Bubblegum, all the electronic songs. Then Mouth of Ghosts almost has like a almost like a Latin feel to like the whole song. Like there is no harder feel on the song. It literally is just like slowly build to where I feel like the heaviest it gets is kind of rockish at the end. But it is almost like a freeing experience of it, and I love it. Um, this is one of the albums I'm struggling to decide of whether or not this is my favorite or another one. So I'm gonna leave this one at a 9.9. I might come back to this one. What's your thoughts on this album?
okay. I love it, dude. And I just don't know. So I guess disclaimer, I don't think I have a 10 Dillinger album for me. It's just the heavy math element, I think, for that reason. And like I said, I'm in waves with this band. I come and go on them, but I've loved jamming this discography. It's been a hell of a lot of fun. I love these songs, man. Black Bubblegum, for sure. It's got my heart, dude. That is cool about Horse Hunter. I did not know that was Brett Hines, but definitely makes sense now. And you
Hmm.
know what? That makes me think that I think that this band is the other leg we were missing. I was talking about there's how Mastodon, Gojira, and Lamb of God are all kind of
Mm.
legs of something, and
Yeah.
but the fourth one was missing. I think it's Dillinger. I
I
think
can see that.
Dillinger is that fourth leg of that iconic kind of early 2000s band takeoff. I think this is the missing element because you get the Mastodon vibes with this band. As crazy as that sounds, like they're a mathy
Hmm.
lounge room fucking electronica band, you know what I mean? But
Hmm.
yet they capture Mastodon vibes. That is so weird to me, but I love that. And I don't know that you can really find Lamb of God elements with Dillinger. That's probably the two out of those four that don't really intertwine anywhere, but I don't know. I don't know where I'm getting at. But anyways, I guess I'll get to this album. I loved it. I it's a solid album, man. I would give this one an 8.7.
Okay. So 18.6.
I think we need that. I think we need that tour though. The four leg band tour. How fucking big would that be, dude?
And Brent Hines needs to come back, and so does Greg Puciato. Because then
Yes.
we need
Yeah.
then we need Plantier, Pusciato, both Sanders and Hines and Randy Blythe to all come out and do a song together.
And and Chris Adler to come back to Lamb of God.
Oh yes. It needs to be everyone. Let's bring
Dude,
the whole fam.
the call it the reunion tour, and the is all capital. That would
Absolutely.
be fucking epic. That's selling
Yeah.
out for sure.
And I feel like every one of those bands needs to play one of their classic albums from the 2000s. I do feel like for Dillinger it would probably have to be this album because I feel like this
Yeah.
is a bigger album than Miss Machine. Obviously Gojira has to play from our Sirius.
Oh
Mastodon
hell yeah.
has to play either Crack the Sky or Leviathan. Lamb of God,
Oh dude.
either Ashes of the Wake or
Sacrament.
Sacrament. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That would be so sick. Damn, that would be awesome.
Yeah. All of you that aren't in these bands anymore, make it happen. Put the feud
Dude,
aside,
please.
make some money, and make all of our dreams come true.
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah, Ironworks is now at 18.6. Might change. I haven't decided yet. We will get to that. Um, Up next, from what I understand, Dillinger Escape Plan, I forget what label they were on, but they completed their contract and decided instead of re-upping or shopping around for a new label, they decided to create their own, and that is the Party Smashers Inc. And on Party Smashers Inc., they decided to release their new album, Option Paralysis. So pretty much no pressure, no kind of direction from a label, purely them. Um, but I will say, starting up front, this one I wasn't super into it when it came out, and even to this day, I even re-listening to it again, I feel like this is one of their weaker albums. Um, it still has some good stuff on there. Like I love the opening track, Farewell Mona Lisa. I feel like it encompasses everything I love about Dillinger, kind of wrapped up in a song. Kind of that weird brown, 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 then to the crazy mathcore stuff, and then the slowly
Hmm.
building with the what seems the song is about is calling out fake bands and fake art, and to where like artists aren't to actually supposed to be good people. It's just like good art can come from bad places kind of thinking. So I love it. I love that song, but I do feel like the rest of the album is kind of just meh. Gold Teeth on the Bum is still pretty good. I feel like that's this album's Black Bubblegum, but it's still nowhere near as good. You also have Parasitic Twin, Chinese Whispers, kind of the similar vibes on this. Um, Here, I need to actually pull up the track list real quick, see what else
Dude,
is
yeah,
running.
the ending, Parasitic
Hmm.
Twins. I mean, on Spotify they have the bonus tracks, but Parasitic Twins, the ending track, it is absolutely just epic. It's got like an eerie Dillinger vibe that they bring.
Hmm.
Um, and again, the unexpectedness, I think. Most of this album, I kind of agree. I'm just not crazy about. I feel like it's a lot of just kind of B-side Dillinger, if I'm being honest.
Hmm.
Um, but Parasitic Twins, man, that's probably my favorite on this one for sure.
Yeah. And I almost wonder if maybe the fact that they are on their own label and don't have the pressure is maybe why I have this feeling towards this album. Because it almost
Mm,
feels like it's missing something. It's missing the energy. It's missing the not necessarily deliberateness, but the trying to get to the point quick kind of thing, the upfrontness. I feel like they're trying to flesh it out
okay.
more, which I don't feel like they need to do. Like, yes, you can do that on certain tracks, like they do on Mouth of Ghosts and stuff like that. Like, there are songs you take your time, but I feel like this whole album, it doesn't hit and it doesn't land and it doesn't have much emotion as I'm used to with Dillinger. So for that, I'm probably gonna give this one a 7. What's
Okay.
your what's your feelings on it?
I'm going to give it a yeah, I could take it or leave it. I'd probably give it a 7.2.
Okay. So actually, surprisingly, it's not last. So I did actually see Revolver came out with a similar thing that we're doing.
Hmm.
And I was so surprised to see this one at the bottom. Because not only did they make this the bottom, they put Irony is a Dead Scene over this one, which I don't know if you listen to Irony is a Dead Scene. It is rough to get through.
Yeah, I haven't. But I can imagine. I'm sure it's
But
just fucking chaos.
but I will agree, I do feel like this is a weaker part of the, and also I felt like this was a Dillinger was in a weird spot because Dillinger was already kind of big at this point, and then this album came out, and I feel
Had a
like
lot to live up to, huh?
well that too, but also shortly after this, I want to say is when they got put as headliners of the Summer Slaughter tour, which I felt like created a lot of backlash.
Ooh, yeah. You know what? Even looking back now, like I don't, they just don't fit a summer slaughter. I feel
No,
like
I
that's either death metal, brutal death, or something.
yeah, and I fully agree with that. And I remember thinking at the time like this is not good for Dillinger. Like I'm glad they got a headlining tour. That's a big tour, like because they deserve the recognition. But I don't feel like this is the tour you should be on because you're gonna get negative attention with it. But I mean, I'd still love it's still awesome. I did see him on Warp Tour on this one. Um, and I will say this seeing them play Farewell Mona Lisa was awesome as shit. Ben Wyman crowd surfing, letting the guitar just hang
That's
from
cool.
him, looking like a madman. They had Jeff Tuttle only for this album. He was only on this album, and he even got in the crowd, still playing his guitar and moshing, like headbutting people, pushing up his back, and
Wow.
still riffing. They were crazy. They were awesome. They even had one of those like those crates that they'll bring out for people to stand on. They brought their own, like had their logo on it, but it was janky as shit. I thought it
What?
was spring loaded, but no, it's like the wood's like cracking and stuff. But they're still jumping on it and jumping off it and stuff, being crazy.
What?
Awesome.
That's cool. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
But so I don't know if what happened, maybe they realized like, hey, maybe we kind of do need a little bit, not necessarily like still have the creative freedom, but maybe like almost like a ticking clock, like, hey, we have to get something out. Because they then joined Sumerian Records, which at the time was like the biggest record label for like modern metal. This at the time they had the
Oh yeah.
Faceless, they had Born of Osiris was at
Periphery.
yeah, Periphery. All these bands were at the height of their career. Uh, huge label, and for some reason Dillinger joined them, which again was an odd fit, just like the Summer
That is
Slaughter tour,
crazy.
odd fit. But I will say they also picked up Billy Reimer as their new drummer, who is very jazzy and mathy, perfect fit. And they got in the studio. I was super excited, and they released the other album I'm having a hard time picking as if my favorite or not, and that is One of Us is the Killer. And this album itself is killer. Front to back, awesome album. Starts off with Prancer, that how could it all be? Like it's mathy, but it keeps grooving. Like awesome intro into the album. Then When I Lost My Bet gets more. This I feel like this is the jazziest they've been with their math. Like, hey, or don't.
Yeah.
Like the whole punchiness of like
The
staccato.
whole like snare roll that
Yeah.
you imagine seeing at jazz night or something. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
so
it's
weird, dude.
so weird and jazzy, but it like I didn't like it. I thought it was so weird at first, but it's grown on me to where I do love it more, especially when things break down. It's like you're getting it for sure. Like that part where it kicks in, gets more metals, like awesome. And then they throw you the curveball again. This album's Black Bubblegum, which kind of goes in a
Yeah.
different direction, and that is their title track, One of Us is the Killer. And oh man, this is a different
Holy shit,
it's
man.
different vibe. It's haunting. When it rocks, it almost makes me think of like a theatrical, almost like Foo Fighters, almost like
Yeah.
awesomeness. It's
I can see that, yeah.
but it's so chilling and awesome. And from what I understand, this has so the title of the track and with the song of the whole album has to do with like a ending a relationship of any kind, like uh in the end we try to be but one of us must die, and the killer won't survive. So like the person initiating ending the relationship isn't getting out unscathed. And
Ah,
from what I understand, this has to do with Greg Puciato's, the singer's relationship with Ben Wyman, because and not like romantic, but like friendship wise. I
huh.
guess at around a little bit before this time, he was heavily into like party drugs and psychedelics. And at one point, he was leaving the club, and I think was like borderline overdosing. And his girlfriend at the time was with him, but instead of like calling for her, he was calling for Ben because he looked up to Ben so much. Like he Ben had become almost kind of become like his emotional crutch kind of person. And so that's kind of
Wow.
like what this album is, at least the song is more about, like their kind of relationships and stuff. Uh, I don't know if he's saying like it's a toxic to where how he looks at Ben, but I don't know what. Anyways, that's
Hmm.
from what I understand. That's what the basis of it is. But anyways, this song is fucking awesome. I would put this up there with Black Bubblegum, with its
Yeah,
catchiness and how awesome it is.
I agree.
Um,
Yeah,
rest of
this is a song I could have seen being played on the radio station, you know.
hmm
Like it's so acceptable as far as just a all around great fucking metal song, dude. That's tasteful, but very just extraordinarily done. And you know, again, the fucking unexpectedness, just the obscurity that is Dillinger, the soft vocal delivery
hmm
that they give you, the kind of whisper singing that he
hmm
does is so odd, but still so damn good. It's yeah, I don't know. It captures a draw or just like a. It's just intriguing, man. You know, it
hmm
really is. And yeah, dude, it's just they knocked it out of the park again. I think, you know, this time it's well-rounded, but yeah, I love the lyrics in that song. In the end, we try to be, but you shot your arrow through me, and one of us must die, but the killer won't survive. I think that it's so cool. It's puzzled me. It still puzzles me, but giving that background on it actually kind of helps paint the picture. That is crazy, but you know, I think you get that kind of blatant lyrical content in bands. You know, I'd say that's comparable actually to the other leg band I was talking about, Lamb of God's
hmm
Redneck. Mark
Yeah.
Morton writing the song, and Randy Blythe's like, all right, yeah, fuck it, I'll sing it, and it's shit talking about this piece of shit that he is, you know, and it turns out to be probably their most successful hit ever. That
hmm
is musical genius, you know. And that's what this song is. One of us is the killer, man. So if that is true, that is incredible. I think that's awesome, but that is good art, man. That's where it comes
hmm
from. But yeah, man, that's awesome. Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
And this album keeps going for me because Hero of the Soviet Union, it is more mathy, but I do feel like it is closer to like a normal breakdown, like metalcore that was kind of going on all the time. It's closer to that than they ever been. It seems to be like a call out to someone he hates. I don't really understand. But it has an epic ending. You are the scum of the earth. You are the scum of the
Yeah.
ocean. That
Yeah.
part.
Brutal.
And then it kicks into Nothing's Funny, which is more of
That's a
like
good ass song too.
yeah, it's bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, dum. Like still has the typical like you expect like an angular mathy riff, but it's like just rocking. Image pale that points and laughs.
Yeah.
Like it's and then also the weird sample of like birds chirping. Death
Yeah.
brings you
It's like
close.
I was like, what the hell is that, dude?
But it
That,
fits so good.
I know it makes the sound, it makes the song, dude, and that's the weird fucking ingenuity of this band, I guess. There's also like a breakdown with a weird like three pick guitar part, but it's like higher volume than everything else that sticks out to me. I don't know if it's in this song or another one. I don't know, but yeah, that's just this band in a nutshell. I think the weird obscurity electronica shit that you see that like seeps through the cracks that sticks to your memory. It's so
Oh,
weird,
you're
man.
talking about that. Ba-na-na-na, ba-na-na-na, is it that part?
it's a real quick, just like it like sounds like a weird little robotic like tremolo type thing, or like a hammer on. It
Mm.
sounds like guitar, but it just sounds like this weird three note thing is like highlighted more prominently than everything else. It's the oddest shit ever. I'm just like, why is that like louder than everything else that's happening right now? I don't know. Sticks out like a sore thumb to me, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's a great song. I want to say that was another big song that came out from this. Also, I want to say it's either Understand and Decay or Paranoid Shields. I can't remember which one, but it starts off. I think it's Paranoid Shields, and I think that's the one where I'm thinking of the uh
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
yeah, you're
That's it. Yeah.
where he kind of like dun, dun, dun. I forget what he's singing, but I remember you'll never find anything like a forest
Yeah.
in search of a stray. Like it has a very every time I die feel to the song, like
Yes.
riffage wise.
Very much so. Yeah.
Uh, but the last song on this album that just I love this song and it's experimental for Dillinger, not so much music wise, but Dillinger wise, this is an experiment and it's Crossburner with a very doomy, sludgy vibe. I just could
Oh,
not
yeah. That
believe.
heavy ass bass. Yeah. Like
Mhm.
opening. Yeah. That's
It's
crazy. Yeah.
it's heavy and I love it. It's so weird and out of place, but it's awesome. Um, and I'm gonna say, fuck it, I'm gonna give this one my 10 because for me, this one, the entire album all the way through is awesome and perfect for me. So I'm probably gonna give this my 10. What's your thoughts on the whole album?
I love it, dude. I think it's a great album. Um, it's one of the fonder ones in their discography, in my opinion. It's heavy. I think there's a lot of experimenting on this one, probably more than any other album, I think. Um, but yeah, dude, it's solid. Open solid, it carries solid. One of Us is a Killer is probably my favorite track, I'd have to say. Um, but yeah, this one's up there for me in their discography, man. I'm gonna give this one a nine. Solid
Okay.
nine.
All right. Just a second. Going all the way up here at number one with the flat out, you said nine?
Yep, nine.
So flat 19, number one now. All right. Now, it comes with great sadness that a few years later, they announced that they had decided they were going to call the band quits. But before they decided to do that, they were going to release one last album and a couple tours, and then it would be donezo. And that brings us to
Wow. Has it
2000.
really? It's almost been a decade since this came out.
Yes, yes,
Oh my gosh.
2016's Dissociation. And like I brought up in the
Damn.
beginning, very this is a very sad and somber album, but it is very retrospective and in throwback stuff. Because if you even look at the cover of the album, it's the glass guitar tubes from the first album exploding. Uh,
Oh, okay. See, to me, honestly, I was thinking it looks like Ironworks if you exploded the triangle.
oh, okay. I can
Like
see that.
it looks like you're destroying the Ironworks triangle, which I thought was really cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, that is cool though.
But yeah, this is a very sad and somber album, but it's still very good. Kicks off with Limerent Death. That actually, before we get to this album, I do want to highlight one thing. It's not on an album, but it is a great song that I am still sad they have not
Oh,
released digitally. Why is Happiness is a Smile not
yeah.
released digitally? I want to listen
What
to
the
that
fuck?
on more than just YouTube because that
Yeah,
song.
that's one of the best songs that this band ever ever released, man. Heavy as hell too.
Hmm.
Like It's so good, and the breakdown in it is fun as hell. Even the
Hmm.
video's badass. It looks like a Dillinger show that I missed, that I'm
Hmm.
pissed that I missed, because it's a fucking party. Climbing on the rafters and shit like that, diving in the
Hmm.
crowd, dude. It's like, holy shit, man.
Yeah. And I do feel like Limber Death has a little bit of that vibe. I feel like
Same
keeps
vibe,
a,
yeah, for sure.
I do feel like Limber Death though does feel more Dillinger-y. It has a little bit more of a math feel, but I love the weird thing he does near the end, where everything kind of stops. There's a lot of feedback. I gave you everything you
Everything
wanted.
you wanted, you were everything to me. I
And then
gave
it
you everything you
slowly
wanted,
just
you
gets
were
faster and
everything.
faster
Yeah.
until
It's
eventually,
chaos, dude. Yeah. He sounds
until eventually he just,
crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's some of the most raw Greg Puciato takes I feel like I've ever
hmm,
experienced. It sounds like he was just in a studio up against the walls. He sounds like he's a fucking nutshell, like he's
hmm,
bouncing off of the wall in a fucking gurney or something like that. You know what I mean?
hmm.
Or is that the right word? What's the crossbody like mental health patient thing that I'm
Oh, a
thinking of?
straitjacket.
Straight jacket. That's a yeah. He sounds like he's in a straight jacket for this song, especially on that ending half. But yeah, Limerent Death, dude, it does. It crunches just like Happiness is a Smile. So yeah, it's surprising that they never dropped that. But yeah, man, like what a kick-ass opening. So
Hmm.
raw.
And then it kicks into. So this is the thing about this album. This album vibe changes so quickly, so often. Because right next after that is a song we talked about last episode or last week's episode, and that is Symptoms of Terminal Illness, which is here's where the
Oh
sadness
damn.
kind of begins on this album. And I do feel like this and the previous song, and I feel like the rest of the album is kind of more of just their way of just kind of saying goodbye, like speaking directly to their fans and their audience. Like the whole "I gave you everything you wanted and you were everything to me" from Limerent Death. But also this, it sounds like it's someone who knows they're dying and is
Oh yeah.
kind of coming to terms with it. And it's just creating that sadness. But I do love this song too. Has a very epic and dark
Oh
vibe.
yeah.
I'm
Beautiful
fr
singing too, I
Oh
might
yeah.
say. Like some of the most calm but deeper singing vocal from Greg Puciato, not as like the high pitched whisper type poppy shit.
Hmm.
This is definitely bringing the sad vibe singing of
Hmm.
Greg Puciato. Um, and yeah, man, it's like a depression kickstart as soon as this song kicks in. Like there is something depressing about listening to this album, knowing that it's the last um and final. I feel like they definitely brought the emotion into it, man.
Hmm.
But I think it played off well. I don't think it could have been any better. Like this, it's an amazing album, man. Really is.
Yeah. And I will say, I do feel like there's a couple weird songs in this one. And I remember when this came out, reading a review, and I feel like it has stuck with me. Is like, yeah, that's pretty apt. It feels like this album isn't how they've kind of fucked with people. I feel like this album intentionally does it. Like there, I think it's wanting not as much to, where it starts off like a typical Dillinger song, but then it goes into like a weird spoken word. Is that this song? Do you know what I'm talking about? It's either this
Um,
one or because
this
there's
one
one
has
that.
that like jazzy breaks, like burp burp ding burp burp burp
Oh, that's
ding
right.
burp.
Yeah, there's that, and then there's Fugue, which is like a typical Dillinger instrumental. And I think it's Lowfield Boulevard has the weird spoken word, like just dead center of the out of the song, to where everything kind of slows down. Where he's like, neither you or I. Wow, how does it go? I need to pull it up.
I'm skimming it. It sounds like they just kind of go into a jazzy break on Low Fields Boulevard. Great song title though.
Yeah, maybe I'm thinking of Surrogate then. So Surrogate starts off awesome, but then it does so that's the thing. They have like three songs in a row, minus Fugue, which is in between there, but I'm not counting that one. To where it starts off like typical Dillinger and it throws you a curveball to where it just kind of almost ruins the momentum a little bit. But I feel like that's just kind of what Dillinger does. They don't want you to be comfortable. You should not be
Yeah,
comfortable listening to a Dillinger album.
very
Surrogate
true.
starts off awesome. It has the weird whatchamacallit, the weird spoken word I want to say. I think it's that song. Right dead center. Which at that point when listening to this album, I was like, come on, just quit quit doing this to me. Give me a full blast song. And sure enough, the very next song starts off similar to Surrogate, but this is probably what, if not my favorite, one of my favorite Dillinger songs, and that's the song Honeysuckle. I love this song. It almost and the it has a sick ass breakdown, and the breakdown almost feels like a throwback to 43% burnt with how it is. And then it has the awesome bass that and then it kicks back in with the bass drop, and then Greg's singing over it. It gets me every time. I love
It's
Honeysuckle.
badass.
Then you got Apologies Not Included, Nothing to Forget. But the album closer brings back the sadness from symptoms of terminal illness, but ramps it up even more. This reminds me a little bit of Mouth of Ghosts, but even more slow paced and somber because I'm pretty sure the only things that are going on in this song is the violins, a little bit of electronics and some drums, and then Greg singing. There's no big explosion. It's just him kind of quietly, calmly singing. And it seems like it is the last goodbye, with just the repeated ending, finding a way to die alone, and then just repeating that over and over till the music slowly fades away to where it's just you and Greg, and him just saying one more time, finding a way to die
So
alone.
brutal.
And it's just,
Yeah,
it's the knife in the heart. It gets
it
me.
is, man. Yeah.
Um, so as I pointed out, there are some songs here and there that kind of get me a little, but I feel like the other good songs on here and how they said goodbye pick it up a little more. So for me, I'm probably gonna give this a 9.1. What's your feelings on this
Okay.
album?
Uh, y- it's the pinnacle of their end. And I think it's the best album. I think that the ending notes in it, like you get the vibes that this is kind of coming to a close, but it was unexpected, I think, going into this album drop, right? Like we kind of knew that it was going to be the
Um,
last one or no?
I don't know if it was in the writing process. I know shortly before it released, they announced that they were ending it.
Yeah. I feel like it captures the vibes of that very well. But I mean, you get that with the title Dissociation. Like it's just heavy, man. It's heavy, it's dark. But I think I'd probably say it's the best Dillinger album, man. I don't know that you have as iconic as hits as Black Bubble Gum and Milk Lizard, but Limerent Death, Symptoms of Terminal Illness, and then yeah, the ending, the lyrics in the ending, it's just, dude, so much hits hard with this album and really dark. I love it, man. This is probably my favorite album. I would give this a 9.5.
Okay. So we have an 18.6. Ooh, we got a tie for second place.
Oh, damn.
All right. At least it's not the first. I feel like we had to do a tiebreaker for this first, but
Yeah.
yeah. So, sadness. Oh, and I did want to bring up something that is crazy. Let me see if I can find it. I found it on Wikipedia and thought that is insane. And I'm hoping that was only like their first early albums they would do it this way, but their writing process blows my mind of that how, this is how they would do it. Supposedly they would take like 15 seconds of a song, they would spend like hours working on that 15 seconds of the song and then move on to the next 15 seconds and keep doing that until a song was done.
Wow.
I want to
That
see
is
if I can.
like writing it, like just
Yes.
rehearsing it. Wow. Good grief.
Let's see if I can
That
find
sounds
it.
like a grueling process.
Yeah, which I can understand. Like, so they only have what, 6 albums? Maybe that's why they also decided to end it. I can see that being an issue. I know Ben explained like, listen, I've been doing this for 20 years and I'm in my 40s or something, and I just unloaded and reloaded all my gear myself. This is I'm tired. So
Huh. Damn.
he went and joined Suicidal Tendencies, which I think they actually have like a roadie crew.
Ben
Um
Wyman did?
yeah, Ben Wyman is now the guitarist of Suicidal
Wow.
Tendencies.
That's crazy.
Uh,
Did not see that coming. That's pretty
yeah,
wild.
it's such a weird change in stuff. Um,
Yeah.
Also, when it comes to Ben Wyman, I forgot to bring this up. He is actually apparently his approach to guitar is really weird and different. He is more of a percussion person, so his approach to guitar is to treat the guitar like a percussion drum. Like he treats every string like a different part of the drum. Like obviously the E string, the low E string would be like the bass drum, and he'll use that like a hi-hat, and kind of like treating it like a jazz drum. Which kind of makes
Huh.
sense if you listen to his the stuff. Like, okay, that's why he does like the weird choppy staccato. Uh,
That's interesting. See, I kind of equate that. I kind of like think of that like Thomas Hawk in Meshuggah. I feel like he's a drummer, but he treats his drums like a guitar. Like I feel like that dude's playing riffs with his
yeah.
drum set, you know. It's just their sound. It's just how rolly it is and just
Hmm.
like if you think of the songs Clockworks, like that dun 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 dun. Like I feel like he's just I don't know. Sounds like he's riffing with them, you know. It's crazy.
Yeah, I also feel like with Thomas Hawk, I almost feel like I feel like he is just like in Unretrified. I feel like at this point he's more machine now than he is man. Like
Oh,
I
dude,
don't understand
absolutely.
how a human person can actually come up with like and do physically do the stuff that he does.
Very true. Yeah, his shit's impressive, man. It blows my mind.
I'm trying to find. I remember. Here we go. Hoshio said he could spend days to compose a 15-second part the way he wanted. I
Good grief. That's crazy.
feel like there's more expanding on that, but I can't find it. But yeah, other things I forgot to bring up is Greg Puciato's. So I feel like this is the kind of the theme with the band, to where their music is and what they're about is mostly reflecting about art and where art comes from and stuff like that, and like respecting real art. Because Greg Puciato, during their his first album with the band, touring with it, they played at the Reading Festival in the UK, and I guess while on stage he shit on stage and picked it up and showed the crowd and goes, "This is shit. Get used to seeing it because you're gonna see it all on the stage all weekend," and then threw it into the
What?
crowd. It's like they're
What the
bold about what they.
fuck? Did not know that ever happened. Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy, and I feel like, especially with that just being he just brand new to the band, only one album with them, and they're only two albums deep. And I want to say they're
Damn.
probably like one of the more opening acts to pretty much really shit on stage and shit on all the bands that are coming on after them. Bold statement, but you know what? Worked out for
Jeez,
him
yeah.
well. But yeah.
Wow.
Anyways,
Some modern G.G. Allen for you.
I mean, I don't know if he smeared it on himself, but
Yeah.
but yeah. Uh, So that's our Dillinger Escape Plan album ranking. At number one with a 19, we have One of Us is Killer. At number two, we got a tie with an 18.6 is Ironworks and Dissociation. Number three, we have Miss Machine with a 16. Then Option Paralysis with a 14.2 and Calculate Infinity with a 13.4. I'm happy with that.
Nice.
That's
Yep.
This was fun. I love Dillinger Escape Plan, so this was awesome. It's good to go back through all their stuff. Still sad to go through Disassociation.
No doubt.
Still miss them.
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah,
Um,
and that's the thing, man. It's just like I feel like the band members are huge, but it's like Greg Picciotto. I don't know that he'll ever get to that epicness that he was with Dillinger. Like he's an epic guy, but same thing as Ben Wyman. I mean, probably financial wise, Ben Wyman, I guess, assuming that his decision's paying off, he's probably in the best spot for him. But it's just like, damn, dude, how do you make that kind of art and then just abandon it? That's crazy.
Yeah. And I was actually, so if you go to Dillinger's Spotify page, I found out there's a actual artist playlist at the bottom to where it has each member, like last member's, uh, that individual person's discography of every project they've done. So like, I was
Oh,
listening to
wow.
Greg's other projects today. Like I listened, apparently he did some early stuff with some group called Error. It was okay. But I
Hmm.
did listen to checked out Killer Be Killed Again. I forgot
Oh,
how
yeah.
awesome their first album was. And I did check out
It's
Black
great.
Queen. But I was looking at all four of the members' things, and it looks like Greg Puciato's been the busiest. Ben Wyman does have suicidal tendencies. I don't know if he's released an album with him yet. But other than Dillinger and Suicidal Tendencies, he did Draft Tongue Orchestra. But other than that, that's all he's
Oh,
really been doing. Um,
huh.
Liam Wilson was in some band. I forget what it was. I think it was Azusa, because that felt like the band looked and sounded familiar. And I want to say he's also, I think he's playing with In Flames nowadays.
Oh, wow.
But I don't know. I love Greg Puciato. I think he's super talented, and I hope Better Lovers keeps kicking ass. I don't think that it will be as big as Dillinger was, or as big as Every Time I Die will be, but I do think they are building their own niche, and as the fan base is up from both camps is coming over to support it, so that's good. But obviously, they're all older; they can't rebuild these legacies these bands had, but it's
Right.
good for the time being.
It's a
So,
cool culmination for sure.
hmm yeah. Um, that's our Dillinger Escape Plan album ranking. What should we do next week?
Hmm. I thought of an idea. If you're into doing another Discog rank, um, Suffocation was a band I was thinking of. They're a good death metal band that I haven't delved a lot into. But I'm also open for whatever other ideas you got too.
We can do Suffocation. I do feel like they have a lot of albums though, but I mean, I feel like we could do it because I don't know of many albums that are coming out this Friday. I know a country album coming out, but we're probably not going to be talking about that this next week. So, but yeah, let's do Suffocation. I'm only familiar with about two albums pretty well, just Pierce from Within and what's the other? I know a little bit of Pinnacles of Bedlam, but yeah, and Hymns of Hypocrisy, the new one. Other than that, they
Yeah,
have a
I'm excited to get to that one, the new one, Hymns of Apocryphy. I've liked what I've really heard, especially with the new vocalist. I think they sound killer. But the other one, I want to say it might be the last one with Frank on Vokes was Depravity or um, something through deprivation, Clarity through deprivation.
hmm.
That the one with that song on it. I know that's a song, Clarity through deprivation. Clarity, deprivation. It's a badass song. But so I'm excited to get to that one. But I don't know. I'm sure I'm gonna have obstacles with Suffocation. They're pretty kind of straight to the point of what that band is. And I feel
Hmm.
like they were that band for many albums. So it might be a lot to get through, but I don't know. I'm interested in definitely
All right.
checking those guys out.
Yeah, let's do Suffocation next week.
Hell
Uh,
yeah.
it'll be brutal. It'll be awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Do you have anything we want to add before we start plugging away?
No, plug it, dude.
All right, so obviously we're going to be doing Suffocation, the brutal death metal legends. But until then, you can check us out on Spotify. You can check us out on YouTube. You can check us out on TikTok. You can check us out pretty much anywhere you get your podcasts fixed from, Apple Podcasts, Castbox. You can also check us out on Facebook. We also typically post on there the most with new episodes. You can also comment or message us on there for suggestions. Same on TikTok. You can message us. Or if you just want to email us directly at deathmetaldays@gmail.com, we can do that as well. We take requests. We'll do shout outs, anything you want within reason. We're not going to sell you a tiny bottle of our cum for $50. We're not Profanica. But
Actually,
no, not after the lawsuit. But anyways, until then, Death Metal Daddy's out.
see you fuckers.
Metal Daddies.
Giants. How could it all be? We are doing